their strongest point is definitely like the lane phase. They have really, like their bot lane is really aggressive and they like to get the jungler to help them, so they almost win the lane every time, and it's really hard to lane against them. Me and Woolite, we have a really good synergy right now. We have played in team before. We played on Denial, so we have worked together for like 6 months or something. So I don't think it's gonna be that hard to play against them, but like we will see what happens.
Welcome back to the European Challenger Series Spring Split Playoffs. And it's interesting that Wendelboe has so much respect for the bottom lane, but you kind of look at the whole team and you have to respect all of them, right? Like we just saw in that last game, you have to respect Wendelboe the carry in the top lane.
Yeah.
You have to look at Godbro in the mid lane, because at any time, that's kind of like, it's like the wildcard team, right? Because someone will just turn up and carry a game, and you don't know who it's going to be. It's like Pluto. It's just like, is it going to be Wendelboe? Is it going to be mid lane? Who knows?
It's like you got that board of 5 on like guess who. It's like, does he have glasses?
Yeah, and that's playing against Huma. That's
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I mean, does he have Jax is the one that we're going to have to answer in the next game, because if Willib gets Jax...
I got to make a prediction before we get to pick some bans. I think it's going to be a Jax ban.
I think so. I mean, I think that has to be, because... I mean, we know the side selection is the same for the first 4 games, and now that you've shown that once, it's just like well... I guess as long as we don't pick ourselves too bad a composition, we'll just get Jax on the last pick anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, unless you pick a super, super early game top laner, there's very few that can actually snowball out of control so much that if Jax doesn't get a couple of kills, he gets back in the game. But we'll get to picks and bans. We're still a couple of minutes away. Players are setting up. As we said, they are offline here in Berlin with us, so they need a couple of minutes to talk through strategy of the next game. So we're not quite ready to go yet.
No, and just to revisit that as well, like Werlib, he was shut down in lane, but then he just caught back up, and we're actually going to take a look at a replay here where this is Werlib catching back up.
Yes, this is Inspire being pretty low.
0-2-1, by the way.
Pretty low, diving under the tower, which is what the composition wants to do, which wasn't too bad. They just did not really respect the TP coming out from Werlib. This is the first pickup, and then from here, he's just like, okay, I've got this, guys. Even running the masteries for the combined spell vamp and lifesteal there as well, so he's able to just auto-attack wail on people and just get them down. Man, that was impressive stuff.
Yeah. If he stayed alive for like one more auto attack as well, the Alistar was walking towards him, so he just could have just turned around and bonked him on the head as well, and he also would have been dead. So yeah, that got very bad very quickly. And from there, he just started killing everyone. Like Jax literally just sat in the lane, like no one could duel him, and they sent like 3 people, sent an Ezreal ult at him, and like he just wouldn't die.
This is the funniest part of the game, because this is like, okay, well, Cosq, I just want to clear the wave. Maybe we'll go aggressive. Okay, we've got him. He's on his own here, guys. We can see everybody else in mid lane. We've totally got him, guys. Come on. We've got him. They didn't have him. So Werlib at this point couldn't get on to get the kill earlier on. He would have been able to kill Cosq, but look, it was all the distraction. From here, the mid tower goes down, the mid inhibitor falls. Just so many ults and so many abilities committed by Inspire to try and get the Jax, and to no avail.
No. Sartorius comes in and it's just like, well, I can hit people with Staggering Blow, and that's kind of it, actually. I don't have ultimate, even though if he had cooldown from Dredgeline. So, yeah, they just burn so many resources, and that's what happens when the Jax gets out of control. You have to commit 4 people to him, and all who have to burn their cooldowns.
And what happens at the end of the game is Jax 4 shots at turret, 3 shots on Ezreal, and ends the game.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you have a Nautilus and 2 down. Oh, I'm just going to kill you both and kill your Nexus.
So, your prediction is Jax ban, right?
Yes.
I'm on board with you, my friend.
All right, good stuff. Glad we're on the same page here. Kalista was the first ban in every single game so far. Well, we're still on the same side selection, by the way. If you just joined us, Huma selected red side for games 1 and 3.
Yep.
And Inspire selected blue on 2 and 4.
So Gragas would be the ban coming out from Huma, which, of course, Huma I was looking at Huma banning it. Interesting that they'd ban the Rammus over the Jax.
Every game so far.
Yeah, I mean, Rammus has been shown to be pretty strong. But I don't know. I look at like Werlib, and I feel like he's way more deadly on Jax than the Rammus. We did see a game of Rammus from Werlib, so maybe they're just like, well, we feel like we can deal with the Jax if we're in that situation.
That one game scared us so hard. We've got to ban it every single game.
I'd be scared about that last game. If
like do they ban the Jack? No, they stick with the same bans.
I think the Braum ban I think is necessary in the current match.
Yeah,
I think it's such a good pick.
The one you swap out is Rammus, right?
Yeah,
like
of those three, I think. And it's difficult to target ban on blue side just from how many high priority picks you normally have to take away.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like first pick a Jax. That would just be not great to go, well, we don't want you to have it, so we're going to give away our first pick and everything. Yeah. So Poppy is banned, Nidalee's available, Alistar's available. Alistar was the pick that we saw in the last game be the first pick in this situation, so there are options for Inspire.
Okay, so what are you looking at? Because last time Corki went over to Huma, first game it went over to IE, and I was just like, well, maybe that's because they like banned out the Rammus, so they wanted a heavy AD composition or something like that, but what's stopping Huma from just picking Jax again at the end of this draft? Like, do IE have to start like drafting things that like really screw up a Jax like early on into this draft? Or?
I mean, they're fairly safe off their first pick.
Yeah.
I mean, Nidalee is the same beast that we're always going to see from Nidalee. The Alistar was available, didn't opt for it. So that's kind of intriguing that Inspire, rather than prioritizing the dive they had in the last game, now want to prioritize the early game jungle. It worked well for them in the first game.
Yeah. And it worked well for Rudy in the second game. So yeah,
that's also true. You get to deny it from Rudy.
Yeah, because actually, like the jungle has been fairly impactful in this series in general. So I kind of see it denying it from both players. That will mean, of course, Alice is going to be picked up.
Malzahar, it'll deal with Jax, suppress him.
That's true, and then you build QSS.
Yeah, and then he builds QSS. Hey, look, he's out. I'm just saying.
But then you go Skarner as well, and then
Skarner, Malzahar, all single target.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had the Alistar, the Corki locked in on the red side for Huma rotation. First rotation out from them, fairly standard. I mean, Alistar's available, Corki's available. Why not?
Lock him
at that point.
Yeah.
Lock him in.
So okay, those have been locked. Nautilus and Quinn. Quinn maybe gonna go on Kozaku, I guess.
And I actually quite like that because now you've got this double flex for top. I mean, obviously they're gonna look to last pick their top laner for Huma, I think. Quinn makes Jack's life a little bit more tricky if you can get that blind.
Yeah.
Kind of makes it difficult for him to continue chasing, land the leap strikes, that kind of thing.
Okay, so looking at these new pickups from Huma. Could be the Azure, thinking about it, looking at a potential AD carry. Mostly seeing Corki go mid in this series, at least for the jungle. Nothing really to write home about. That does leave top lane open. So
surprise! It's Alistar top. No, sorry, it's still 0%.
Yeah,
0%.
Sad times.
But you know, this Ezreal, we haven't really seen much from Holy Phoenix in like 2 games yet. He played the Sivir in the last game. I liked the Sivir. It just didn't really show us too much. Didn't have much impact. These games have been a lot more about Godbro and Werlip.
Yeah, Holy Phoenix has not gone ham yet, but there's still time. Because, you know, this is like the Guess Who game. This is like, someone's going to turn up. I don't know who it's going to be, but someone's going to do it. Inspire, last 2 pickups. So it's probably, like, obviously the Nautilus is a flex. Do you pick, like, Trundle into, like, a preemptive.
It's like the triple flex here, because you could be Nautilus support, could be Trundle support, could be Quinn top, could be Quinn mid, but then who would you put mid? You'd have to have the Quinn mid, really, at this point. Yeah. There's nobody else really to go mid. So it's actually just the Nautilus and the Trundle can flip. Okay. Sadly. I was like, yeah, we can put like... Although, Nautilus mid was played in LCK. Damn.
I can't remember the game,
but it was like last week. I remember waking up and being like, Nautilus mid, I'm going back to sleep. Like just rolling over and being like, I'm done with this.
I was taking notes. I was like, let's go. It gets played every so often. Like every couple of months, someone's just like, Nautilus mid, let's go.
So the Jax is available. But I think the matchups, unless they know the Nautilus is going top, I don't know how I feel about that. Trundle is a fairly similar champion to Jax in the dueling potential, but Jax tends to kind of do a lot better the later the game goes. Not that Trundle's bad at it, but Jax is like, I'm better. And it's not going to be a Jax. It's going to be a tank in the top lane. The complete opposite of a Jax.
So at this point where you have like Trundle and Nautilus as flex, do you just like flex the Trundle into top lane to go up against the Malphite, or do you just want them to farm it out and have the one-on-one? Because Naut wins early against Malphite regardless.
That's a good question. I think that is now entirely dependent on like Wendelbo and how they want to play this bottom lane. I think I probably prefer it as it is to stay here, because I don't think it's too disastrous just having the Nautilus up against the Malphite. I don't think that's really a problem. I think Malphite into Nord is kind of a tricky lane for Malphite in general anyway. I don't know. I think it's fine to have the matchups as they are.
Okay. I think they left it like that, so
yeah, I think they did.
So
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, we'll be getting into this next game very shortly, and yeah, third one. So we have a series on our hands because 1-1 currently.
We've had some crazy games as well. So if you're enjoying the crazy games as well, let us know on Twitter. Let us know which of these crazy teams you want to win. Hashtag IE win. Hashtag HMA win.
And the crazy casters will be getting you into this crazy game.
All right. We're overdoing the crazy.
Are we? Are we really?
It is.
Because that game 1 was...
game 1 was pretty off the wall.
Yeah.
And then the end of game 2, man, that's...
So I don't think you can tone down the insanity at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, I'm glad we're
You've
on the same
got me
page.
there, Pulse.
Okay.
Welcome to the madhouse that is EU Challenger.
This is... I mean, this like the series what we saw in week 5 was still close. It was really just down to those team fights at the ends, which really swung it for Huma. And these games have just been equally close and have often come down to you know, those clutch times at like a certain point in the game. Like last game was all down to that triple kill going to.
I kind of have to cut you off on that one. Game 1 was not close, Pulse. Game 1 was 25 minutes long, and Inspire just ended the game. Like game 2 was a lot closer.
I was talking about like pivotal moments. The pivotal moment was like at minute 2. Where,
yeah, there was a close 2 minutes, and then hey, I'm just for anybody that didn't tune in, game 1 was not close. Pulse is lying to you again.
I'm sorry. This is yeah. Welcome to European Challenge Series where Pulse lies at you for like
Pulse
4
lies
hours.
at everybody. Game 1 was a good game to watch if you want to watch Inspire at their peak, though. I would say that much. Cosq wants to return the favor. This is like the inverse of what happened in Game 1.
Yeah, this is a reverse matchup, yeah.
But what that'll end up with is Cosq going aggressive and then dying to jungler under turret. Because that's what happened in Game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see whether
there's
that
no
actually
Nidalee there this time. Rudy had to be on Nidalee to make the the whole thing.
We also don't have the Australia
lanes.
lanes.
Have to flash over the wall and then smite the blue buff away.
Man, these early trades, though, are so good for Cosq.
Yeah.
Like, you get the Volt, you get the auto. So good. Oh, good pillar.
That's so much damage going on to Cass because the way he was pathing goes a little close to that tower. They also get the level 2 punish. Yeah.
That trade is insane. Normally, you don't see such heavy level 2 trades because both teams by now understand the level 2 of bot lane. It's been the same for so long. So normally you'll see, okay, well, we're losing this. Let's back away. Let's reassess the situation. Very rare that you'd see that much damage be given across. Yes, Alistair does have his heal and hadn't really used too much mana, so he'll be able to sustain that back up. But it is a bit of the tempo in that lane going over to Woolite and Wendelbo.
Yeah, it's not going to be that bad because the pot was popped there by Holy Fingers. That's what he's losing out on, but... Oh, spear lands onto the crab. The Great Crab War.
Crab battle.
I think Max Law won. He turfed out Rudy. Be having to go back into the jungle, find something else to farm.
It is. I would think a cat would be better at like...
Than a giant spider?
Yeah, well, it's... I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. It depends whether it's like one of those bird-eating spiders.
We're about to find out, Stress.
Oh,
who
the cocoon
wins?
landed. Oh.
Spider versus Cougar. Who's going to come out on top? It's very close so far. But now we're going to have a manatee come in here and pick up the first blood. And the troll is going to be bashing away with his club. Here's a cow joining in the action as well.
It's a menagerie, whatever Earth is. Yeah, the manatee as well here is... man.
And a bird.
There we go. Oh, God. Did we buy tickets to the zoo for this game?
Yeah. Welcome to League of Legends Discovery Channel edition.
Oh, Holy Phoenix is just... Ooh. These are not efficient trades. If he hadn't have landed an auto, I don't think you could even call that a trade.
That's
that was
true.
Just like beating the kid up for his lunch money at that point.
I mean, that's just a hard trade in general for like Ezreal versus Lucian. Like that trade very rarely goes well for Ezreal because you have to land a skill shot and Woolite just clicks on you and then like is able to dodge your Q with E, and then like
you
it's
get the
just
E double tap. Oh, that's
like Azure just doesn't come out on top. Like
I don't know what I've got to do. I just can't win these trades.
That's what you do. Like
here comes Willib. He's only level 4. He's going top lane. Of course, he's on power. We're only 4 minutes in, but every time you see a Malphite TP, it's like, oh, does he have ult? No. Far too early for that. No plays to be made. There is a play looking to be made by Rudy in the bottom lane. It's going to be a tough ask to get him into this lane unseen. So he actually is going for Gromp. Kind of interesting pathing, though, to go down into Tribush. I guess he was just defending in case of a dive.
Yeah.
Which was never really going to happen.
He doesn't have vision on Max Law,
yeah.
so maybe he thought he was in bottom side.
Yeah, maybe he was just checking for that. Yeah, that's a good point.
He wasn't. But, like,
I mean, either way, it's fine. It was like, what, an extra 3 seconds added on? But
yeah, it's not breaking the money bank. Or the time bank.
It's not like there's a toll booth through Tribush. Well,
like there is a troll down there, so one of those is like, pay up. Holy Phoenix is low on mana now, so you may have to go back to base at some point. Rudy, to pink ward. You're going to want to clear that out. Skittering Frenzy will help clear that one away. And I believe Max will just go to that ward, so now he's into this jungle. We'll take this camp. Rudy. He's going to say hi to Kozq. He's going to walk away here. In this 2v2, I don't think Maxwell really needs to go for it. Rudy will probably try and repel
he's just
over.
Backing away.
And where's my Raptors? Not there.
Feels bad.
Yeah.
He does, however, think about going top lane. He was kind of moving to go towards Krugs, but didn't want to go over that wall. Will recall. Drops a ward. Good guy Maxlaw.
Supporting his team.
Yeah.
But I mean, Max, or rather, the top lane has just not really been that eventful. It's Nautilus versus Malphite, so there's
Nautilus in this matchup.
Yeah. Funny joke.
I thought that was actually what you said. I was like, that's a very funny one, Pulse.
Yeah.
And then realized, no.
But he's level 6 now, so
I'll leave you to it.
It'll be less of a Snorfest, maybe. I mean,
wait, he's opted for Codex.
Oh.
Huh.
So I guess that means we're going to be seeing Banner of Command.
Early, yeah. Yeah. I'm like looking at the other options available, and I'm like, Athene's no.
Morello? No.
Morello, no. I'm like, this is not a top lane item.
Yeah.
What is building into this? Yeah, he's... I mean, we have seen that a couple of times. It's not overly surprising. It's just one of those things that when you look at it, it's like, oh, okay.
Okie dokie then.
Yep.
I mean, your other option is like Aegis in that situation, and I mean, it's Malphite. Like, he's not going to pressure you out of lane, so you don't need like the extra magic resist to stay healthy.
CDR gives you the E, the cooldown for E.
Yeah,
you can
exactly
push it back out faster.
More AP is also nice. Bot lane, after that initial trading, the CS differential actually hasn't opened up that much. It's like a wave difference, which is not all that much. Maxwell goes into the top lane. More trading in top lane. Like, as you can see, like the Nautilus Malphite matchup, Malphite loses in the auto attack trades, but he's never gonna really die because he never gets to the point where like Nautilus is gonna kill you. Because like the kill range in top lane is like 20%, or you have to be ridiculously low.
Oh, Maxlaw. We got the spear, but his nerve was tested there. With Godbro trying to come across. Holy Phoenix again getting traded on very heavily, and you can see that Jesuicas can't really do too much about it. He's not really able to get into a position where they can stop the trading onto Holy Phoenix, and Holy Phoenix is so low on mana right now that to Arcane Shift away costs so much that you then can't utilize anything on the map. Observer was just showing us that Pink Ward was placed. He had complete vision over Maxlaw's pathing, but now Rudy, I think, escaped vision himself and is heading towards mid lane.
Yeah, so Rudy had a really good performance last game. Like, he was landing spear after spear, getting really nice chases down. First game, like, we couldn't really like attribute the team not doing well to Rudy, but it was like, it was getting to the point where it's just like, well, is it just something that Sartorius is offering? Is it like the high effect, right, where you just like have a player in your team who just makes everything better? But in game 2, everything went really well, so I think we can throw that theory out of the window.
The mystical high effect.
Yeah.
It's such a weird one as well, and I don't really know whether I buy into it.
The high effect?
Yeah. I mean, it's like anecdotal evidence. You can't really argue with it.
Yeah, because they did play better.
Yeah,
like,
Anyway, oh, package looks for delivery.
There's no one home. He's out. That's pretty much it, really. I mean, like
that's night and day from what happened in game 1, where we saw CosQ go down there and
go for a tower dive.
Yeah, just go for a tower dive and pick up a kill, and that set up like plays mid and top. It was good in game 1.
Get away from those minions.
Well, Wendelboe is trying to just hold the wave for Woolite, being a good support, saying, "Hey, look, I'm just gonna like." Pull this away from the tower, and then if there's a last hit to be had, I might take that. Like, I wouldn't want it to go to waste. The gold's only going to go on the ground. Like, can't pick that up.
Exactly.
Just comes along and pilfers the ground. Godpro's no mana to really trade with rockets or anything like that.
I'm going to die right here. This is a very interesting support fight that's going on right now. Fan vote 61%, so leaning more towards IE despite them losing game 2. Interesting.
Maybe they were just like, well, there's no Jax this game.
Chances of survival just went up. Maybe we'll see it more in this series.
Chances of survival.
Yeah. When World doesn't have Jax.
Survive the Jax.
Yeah.
There is the Aegis of Legion completed. So going towards that banner.
Also in terms of like, Rudy might be dead here. It's going to repel up and jumps to CosQ, will flash away. CosQ, one more auto attack, gets him down. GodPro will be flashing away. Max Law, just weak cast flash and a headbutt.
But now there's nobody really available to defend if they want to push into the bottom side jungle or up to the turret here. You can see CosQ has dropped pretty low, so Max Law takes the opportunity to go from mid into bottom side. Pinkwall gets placed down by just weak cast, but that's instantly going to be cleared by Wendelboe here. And you know, that's just what I like to see from teams is they get a pick and they move to the next contestable area and you ward it. Is like, what can we get from this right now and what can we get from that in the next minute? Well, this is going to transition into bottom side camps, then we can look for bot tower. That's exactly how this has gone. Inspire have pre-prepared this bottom lane tower for now so that Woolite could act aggressively. They've seen Rudy come down on the wards they just established, know they can't take the turret, trade a little bit of damage back themselves away. It's good preparation by Inspire coming from just one pick in the middle lane.
Well, now Rudy is back in the bottom lane once again. Will he path up towards the Gromp? Who knows? It's a crazy world we live in. He's going back to base.
I'm not going to rag on him too hard for that. It's just when you're looking at it and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it was 3 seconds. Every second counts. But no, there's been a lot of downtime in this game. In a lane swap, if you have like an extra 3 seconds over your opponent, that can really pay off. Because then having that tempo and then taking an extra turret, but when you were 3 seconds late to Gromp, not so much.
Grump's just like, we had an appointment.
Yeah. You didn't see that, but Stress looked at his watch.
I mean, I respawn on the clock. Yeah. Like, you're not there when I respawn. I'm off. Yeah. I'm gone. Grump just like turns back into George, puts his like coat that's the Grump suit away and just hops off the back of Rift
again.
Ya.
If you're not here, then I'm not putting my time. Oh, Cass. Nice combo there. Bit of damage for Holy Phoenix, but a lot of return damage from Woolite there. He's got now a significant lead in the bottom lane, just over 10 CS, about 14 CS there. Holy Phoenix with the 2-shot barrage. It's 40 seconds longer at all ranks now, I believe, which is obviously significant earlier on, but
that's pretty significant.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
But
whole
obviously Q reduces that.
Whole extra wave comes out.
Yeah.
And then you take into account that the higher frequency of cannon minions later. So,
true.
Wow. It's actually
less snipes across the map.
Yeah. Harder to push them back.
That's true. Banner of Command finished by Sartorius. Frozen Gauntlet. Iceborne Gauntlet, rather.
Frozen Fist.
Frozen Fist. Where's that come from? Like, I hear so many people call it Frozen Fist.
Because nobody could remember the word Iceborne.
Oh.
So initially, when the icon got released, well, that's
Max Law, he's dead.
When the icon got released, everyone was like, "Ooh, it's an Ice Fist." Icy Fist? No, it doesn't sound good. Icy Fist.
Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen.
It's definitely Frozen.
Double F. Frozen Fist at 20.
F. Ah. Okay. All right, I got it. I thought it was like a reference to something.
I don't know. It might be. I might be completely wrong here, Pulse. I might be lying to people. I'm taking a page out of your book.
All right, gotcha. That was also the worst behind enemy lines. Just like charged up, walked around the minion, and then instantly got popped out of it. That was just like anti-value.
You know what he's doing?
100 mana that just went nowhere.
It's like, have you ever seen, God, what's the bird called? Is it a peacock? That has the giant feathers. Have you ever seen two of them like in a fighting stance?
No.
It's like you want to just spread out your feathers and show off like the war.
I just see an image
colours,
of like,
that kind of
you know, when it's like gearing up to like scare away predators and stuff. That's legitimately scary. Like,
yeah, that's what that was. Like Coscu's just like, I'm gonna scare him away.
Oh, I see, with a big bird on his back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, on his back?
On
How
her
does that
back.
work? It's like the claws are dug into Quinn, just like, oh dear.
Something like that.
We'll see if.
But that's how they use behind enemy lines. Have you not seen it?
We'll see if the eagle. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
We'll see if the eagle can
Reinforce
carry the
shoulder
ring.
pads. Ultimate onto Whirlup though, but he's now out of tower range and is already hitting the minion. This 2v2 is becoming less close. Whirlup was just maybe a fraction of a second too late on the ultimate. He had to pop it when Sartorius was underneath the tower. This time, Coscu will sidestep the rocket barrage.
You've got me looking now more at
What?
Quinn and Valor, and now it's like picked up.
I was like, why are you zooming into?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I must admit, I never really noticed that it works that way.
I mean, it's new since like the rework.
No, I know
happened,
that. I for whatever reason, my brain always just kind of like saw it like
top down,
just like a mount.
Got it. Yeah.
You know how like when you're playing an MMO and you like cast the mount and it just appears beneath you. There's no like getting on sequence or anything like that.
Now there's some weird physics there, right? Because like Valor is way bigger when you're using behind enemy lines than when you shoot him out with Blinding Assault, which just doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it is a Pokemon. It's because you know when you're like, this is physics far
It's
beyond
not like Mega
our
Evolution,
knowledge.
but Warlight going on to just recast. He has his ultimate still, but he's still holding on to it. He'll flash over the wall rather than burn his ultimate. Whirlup in the top lane. Anchor lands. Maxwell, a lot of follow-up damage, and there's no real mana resist, but he's actually still alive. One more auto attack, jumps after with a flash, and will take him down. Rudy is there for the counter gang, but now Rudy, he doesn't really want this anymore. In the bottom lane, that was the double kill going over to Whirlup and Wendelbo. Coscu comes in from the middle lane. Godbro finishes him off. This has all just gone to anarchy.
This is a crazy, like, 30-second section. So initially there was a trade in the bottom lane onto Jesuicast, put him so low that he couldn't survive. Then it looks like they went aggressive onto Holy Phoenix. Hopefully we'll get a replay of that. Top side, Sartorius just couldn't quite get onto Whirlup, but first spear misses from Maxlo, and this messy dive under the tower. Holy Phoenix just fired his ult out. We'll catch it on the left-hand side of your screen. Oh, it's not going to kill anyone. Got damage onto Warlight, but that's about it.
Good lead.
Yeah, it was good. He got the hit. That was
Here's
what
that
he was aiming
replay.
for. So here, they're trading damage onto Jesuicast and managed to get him all the way out. Holy Phoenix was pretty low, so we're going back up to top side. It's kind of bottom side. There was an engage out from the Quinn, and it's Woolite that actually went aggressive. So Maxlo flashes in, gets the E damage, kills Rudy. I wonder if we're going to see bottom lane. We've got to go back, Marty.
We'll never know.
We went back. Okay. There was the dive under the tower. So it was just a straight up dive. Nice.
All right.
I'm glad we had
Actually,
this.
I kind of preferred not knowing.
Yeah. Thought it was like some amazing play.
Like now that I have it.
Now I'm seeing Coscu like vault into Godbro under tower.
I think the mystery was almost better than seeing it, so.
It's why you always
My bad
take...
observers. Next time, just don't show us.
It's why you always take what's in the mystery box.
Yeah.
Because
and
even
not open it or what?
That's the best bit. You could not open it and be like, ooh, I don't know what it is. And then there's always the opening sequence. It's just like with trading card games. You know, you could always buy the OP cards.
Kevin the Owl.
You could always just buy from a seller, like whatever's OP. But opening a packet was so much more like interesting to be like, what did I get? The same 15 cards I had.
I can buy
times.
into that.
Anyway, thanks observers for showing it. We're not that ungrateful that we.
Nope.
They also then got the owl in at the end, so they got their little bit.
I still don't know if it's Kevin or Unzo the Owl. It's still to be decided. Maybe we can get that as a hashtag. Hashtag Unzo Owl. Hashtag Kevin Owl. Yeah, we'll update you later.
Dear.
Rudy's clearing out his jungle, though. There's been a lot of vision just kind of contested. Most of it's around the middle of the map. Both junglers are in the top side, though. And we've seen this before at around 3 minutes into the game.
3. Yeah, we have.
In the bottom jungle.
Now, what's the next step? Because Inspire, they're looking for this middle tower. There's no real heavy wave clear. I mean, Huma have Godbro. He can throw out that Gatling gun, rockets, and Qs. It's a little bit slower than, you know, the likes of the Lissandra champions that can kind of hit all 6 minions at once, but still decent. Still decent. If Inspire were to commit more than like 3 people, they'd probably be able to get the tower, but it's a big commitment. Now they're going to get Rift Herald. Probably go mid lane with Max now with that. Could go up to side lane as well, but I think that's a more risky push if they wanted to.
Okay. Okay, so I have been informed that the hashtag is live.
The hashtag is live, okay.
Kevin win. Kevin Feli, or Kevin Owl, my bad.
Kevin Owl, I was going to say
Owl.
Kevin win.
So Owl, O-W-L.
You know, I feel like...
Fairly specific, and Unzo, of course, is U-N-S-O. U-N-S-O, okay? Just
Owl.
so, because we don't want to sway it to Kevin just because you can spell
I was going to
Kevin.
say that. Kevin is a lot easier to spell.
Yeah. But it also is 1 letter more, so if you are lazy...
Unzo is the quicker choice.
Yeah, but then Kevin is easier to spell, so there you go. It's a tough dilemma. All right, we'll update you later on to this series.
It's going to be like 1 tweet and it's going to be from Kevin.
So,
Willib just ulted. One thing when you're... If you're expecting a fight fairly soon for Huma, you don't ult away, you flash away. Because Malphite without ult can't do anything, and if you now teleport into a fight without ult, you just have no engage for 60 seconds. That sounds counterintuitive because the flash cooldown is longer,
right?
But it depends on your next minute or so. If Huma get dragged into a fight from Inspire and that ultimate isn't available, could be big trouble for Huma. It is a fairly short cooldown. You can see it is a third of the way off already, so it's not the end of the world. But that's something that you should track whenever watching a Malphite. He might have to flash here, though.
Yeah, well, he's actually... No, he's good.
Okay.
He's good to go. But the top tower will die, though.
Yeah.
Got the promoted minion and the Rift Herald. So that was being pushed in really quickly. So the tower will go down. So Inspire are definitely ahead in terms of gold. 4,000 gold there, just from these small pushes. The Dragon generally getting the better of these trades. But the big crit coming out from Godbro. They had to respect that mid-game spike. The Cocoon going wide onto Maxlor. That could have been converted into a pick. Bottom lane, another tower falls. So Huma are trying to make these kill plays happen, but they're losing so many objectives.
They're grouping mid, though. Look at the presence here. That teleport with the ults coming up from Willib. Here he comes in the teleport.
Sartorius pops the dredge line. The True Shot Barrage comes down mid lane, doesn't pick anyone up. CosQ is coming into the mid lane as well to defend. And now... no one is dead just yet, but Sartorius has to go back. Yeah,
Inspire actually can't defend this turret. If they stay here with an Alistar and a Malphite ultimate available, Alistar ult is down, but the turret has gone. So Inspire couldn't commit to holding the turret, but now they want to commit to the fight after. Teleport from behind.
Oh, CosQ going in there. Sartorius did TP. He's almost going down, but Holythings is now on the front lines. He doesn't want to be there anymore. Just Squeakats will have to flash. And that's a 1-for-0. Tower picked up for Huma, but at what cost?
Willib died this time with his flash and his ultimate available, so didn't use either of them to get himself away. And now there's going to be a turret going down from Inspire. I just don't think they really read the teleport coming from Sartorius in behind them, because that Nautilus is going to lock down a lot of people once he gets in there. Holy Phoenix dueling with CosQ.
Blinded.
Blinded by love.
Yeah. Is it really? I don't think there's anything between like Ezreal or Quinn in the lore, like at all.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Like Ezreal's just on his own. Okay.
So
that's
he was a TP coming in. Yeah, they ping him actually fairly late on. Sartorius is already coming around that catwalk when they start to ping him. Willib gets shredded down. Even with 2 items, he just kind of dies in that fight. Can't stay alive. And the rest of Huma are just like, well, Willib's gone. We better back this away.
Yeah, they were fairly chunked at the end of the fight regardless. But they are still leading in kills. They're leading in towers because they picked up the mid tower off that as well. So Inspire are just in a really good position, just taking more objectives. This is not as clean as game 1, obviously, because they didn't die once. But they are still picking up the objectives and playing the objective-based game.
And the difficulty for Huma now is in this game, they don't have somebody like a Jax who is insanely strong in the 1v1 and can just create the whole team's worth of pressure on his own and draw Inspire with multiple people over to a side lane. They have an Ezreal who in team fights and little poking scenarios is going to get stronger, is going to be pretty good at this point in the game, and the later we go. But it's not the same kind of setup. Now you're in a situation where CosQ can go from lane to lane and start to push things out. They've had this banner of command pushing in lanes for so long from Nautilus that for Huma it's very difficult for them to play across more than one lane because Malphite's the only one with TP and he cannot clear that banner out and he can't defend against CosQ either.
I actually really prefer Huma when they're running like 4-1 setups because they have so many carries that they can leverage on their team. Like, it's just so much better. Like, remember the Copenhagen Wolves series where they just had like Holy Phoenix on Lucian just sit in the side lane? Like, even though he was ADC, he could still duel people.
I also, for once, kind of feel like I'm not liking watching Willib playing tanks. I feel like weeks 1 through 5 of the regular split, he actually had some good games on tanks. Rudy has been caught.
And that was such a good pillar. He just couldn't walk out of there. Repels up, he'll just be going down. That was just a fantastic setup, actually, from Inspire. Everything just came together.
Willib was trying to find the flank, but couldn't cross fast enough to get himself in position. And that means Inspire are now grouping towards mid-tower. As long as they don't stack here, they should be able to get this. Willib, cast goes in.
It's going to be the full-blown fight. So many knockups onto Inspire, but there's actually no damage threats getting onto the team while the CC'd up. Willib will have to back away. He actually manages to survive, but chunked away. Oh, Huma, the mid tower will go down. Inspire may be able to pick up a little more. Was looking for the hook, but even if it went past that corner, it would have hit the Trundle pillar. So
at this point, pretty straightforward from Inspire. Is like, well, they just burned all of their aggressive tools, so let's back ourselves away, get the turret. They don't have the damage to follow up, and they didn't have anybody to follow in after the Malphite. And the Alistar, the Corki, and the Ezreal just want to stay back. They want to keep people at arm's length. So really no way of getting that damage onto the squishy targets who were completely protected there.
Yeah. Mid lane, CosQ's actually gone for the Phantom Dancer, so probably looking to sit in the side lane like you were talking about, but we're going to see the kill setup onto Rudy again. That was such a good pillar.
You can see, look on the minimap where Willib is. He's trying to come around the side, but it's far too late. Now he's got a path up and around. And when this Headbutt Pulverize comes in from Cuss, just take a look at Godbro and Holy Phoenix and how they react, because you can see how much of a front line is now in front. Wendelbo stands in front. Sartorius is zoning both Godbro and Holy Phoenix. Godbro had that ult knocking him up on the way to Holy Phoenix as well. Pretty fortunate pathing on that, but that's just the damage from Huma not being able to get in any kind of offensive position.
Yeah, nice setups by Inspire. Like, they're playing it so well. They go bot lane, they push out the wave. They secure vision in the bottom side jungle and rotate between the lanes, chipping with the turrets, looking for a pick. They find Rudy, who just happens to be there. Maybe you can criticize Rudy's positioning, but Inspire just choking Huma out and just playing the maps really, really well. This is what we saw in Game 1. This is what we saw in Week 4 up against Millennium. They're just playing a smart game, and Huma, like, they got ahead in Game 2 by virtue of just, like, you know, Willib going ham, and that's how they win games. Like, they have someone go big, they leverage their carries, but Inspire seems to have a much more consistent way of winning the game.
My issue with Inspire, though, is I want to see the rest of this game, how their decision-making is challenged by Huma. Yeah. Because I feel like Inspire, they had the lead in that second game, and then just couldn't really play around the Jax well enough to stop him from teleporting in from behind. And we are in a fairly similar situation. Yes, Huma don't have the same kind of late game carry when it comes to a Jax being able to destroy people, but they do have the same kind of teleport plays available. They do have Willib on a teleport Malphite, who can come in from the side and win you a team fight straight up, regardless of how far behind you are. As long as you at least have damage to provide from the rest of your team, you can win team fights. So now it's on Inspire to do their due diligence. That's hard to say. De-ward behind them. Make sure you can clear out everything, every possible option. And that's very difficult to do.
Cass is jumping in here. First will pop the ultimate, the flash, and the knock-up knocks Kozgu into the Baron pit. He'll have to flash away. He's actually out of the fight from that play. This may be a late teleport from Whirlip. He gets dragged into the team, but he's still Malphite. He's extremely tanky. The only people really taking damage right now are the tanks. Holy Phoenix is looking for this 1v1 against Kozgu, who is injured in the back side of this fight. Jasui Cass now out of an ultimate. Max Door will finish him off with one of these pouncers. And Sartorius, great re-engage from Whirlip. He still had that one, but the rest of his team is being chased away. 1 versus 3 by Maxdor. He jumps in and will take down 1 kill, but he will be eventually shut down. A 1 for 3 so far.
Oh, good
Kozgu looking for the assassination. Rudy turns around. That's a 1 for 1. Venomous Bite results in that trade. A 4 for 2 overall. Inspire may still be able to go for this. Woolite and Sartorius are there, but they decide to recall instead with Holy Phoenix alive. Let's go back to square one.
Yeah, this is all the way back. So you alluded to it, a very late TP comes in from Whirlip, but look, it's because he actually had nowhere to go for a long time. He actually has to TP into the Spiderling once Elise turns into Spider form, so he had no wards that were available. Only this pink ward up here, and that is far too far outside of the fight. He'd have to come in through the front door, was looking for the flank. From here, look at where the fight re-engages for Whirlip, because I was maybe a little bit harsh talking about Whirlip on tanks. The problem is, the rest of his team can't follow up from this. This is a great ult. Like, if there is somebody that can deal damage, Whirlip just won that team fight for Huma. But there's no damage. It's not enough on its own, and it means Inspire can at least, you know, take ahead or get out ahead of the team fight. Yes, they lose the 1v1 trade because Rudy and Kozgu.
That was smooth, actually.
That was smooth. Yeah. TLDR, damage if it doesn't follow up from Whirlip. This comp isn't going to work from Huma.
Man, like, if Godbro just had, like, 500 extra health in that fight, he still would have been really good.
Whirlip showed bot. He's now going to run back to Baron. Just as I was singing his praises, he makes a mistake that could cost Huma the game.
Well, Cass is going to die regardless. They just had to feed him to the walls, really. Now Whirlip comes into the mid lane, but yeah, like, I don't know why you would show bottom lane. Like, that's... Inspire just not going to back away from Baron. It's like, all right, guys, I mean, you stalled us out once, so we won't go for it again. Like, we're just going to go back.
They've been stalled a 3rd time, but Whirlip, they go aggressive on him.
Need to not group up, though. This is, if they go into this choke point.
Yeah, if they go into that choke point, that could have been a real tough area.
Yeah. They thought about it, and they were just like, maybe not. Let's go up. Let's go up.
Oh, I had my heart skipping a beat for a second then. I was like, don't push through that. But Huma regather themselves pretty well here. Oh, teleport in from behind. This is Sartorius. We've seen this kind of play out of Inspire before.
They actually are not aware just yet. They go for the engage, though, and try and burst down the rest of the team before Sartorius can arrive, but ultimately Godbro will go down. Whirlip is trying to do his best, but Malphite can't do anything past his ultimate when the rest of the team is dead. Really nice flank in from Sartorius. The plays and the proactive plays that Inspire have been making have been so much better. Like, it just in terms of playing around the TP, anything like that has just been in, like, just leaps and bounds better than what Huma have done.
Oh no. Huma have been caught out once again. This is going to result in the Baron going over to Inspire right now. Rudy can't really get himself down there. And you talked about it, the difference in these teleport plays. Inspire's damage is able to get there. Huma's isn't.
Yeah.
And that's the tough part. Kozgu is so mobile. Woolite is fairly mobile as well. That could have been close.
Yeah.
Holy Phoenix, good shot. The timing was just about right.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if the smite is on point, then it doesn't matter how good the timing is, really. All right, well, this is the start of the fight. Huma, they just have to pull the trigger, right? Like,
oh, God, bro.
Otherwise, they just die regardless.
Absolutely destroyed to begin this fight. That's, I mean, there goes part of the damage.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, the choices were limited. You go down in like a blaze of glory, or you run away and die. like those aren't really good choices. It's a lose-lose situation. But now IE are just in absolute control over this game. They have a massive gold advantage. They have the Baron.
They have a ZZ Rock portal.
They have a ZZ Rock portal.
And they have a very strong Quinn, who now has a Sterix gauge as well.
She's not going to die, really. Like, Sterix more, you're not going to get bursted. The sustained damage is never really able to get past Sartorius anyway. Oh, God Bro comes in with the package, he's out with the package. Goes into the middle lane. Maybe someone else will be able to collect the package.
Nope, don't want any of that. Just get out of there.
Man, when Nautilus is just like split pushing.
He's like, I've got my banner, got my minions from Zrot.
Oh, Kozq looking for the outplay. He might actually get it here. And Kozq's ticking down from the Ignite. He'll go down in this 1 versus 1. Whirlib is very tanky, but Kozq, the flash after. I can't really tell who's going to win this right here, because Kozq, if he's able to kite him, will eventually burn him down. But Whirlib, he's a rock. Like, a couple more auto attacks, the cheese wheel, he got him eventually.
Well,
but was it worth it? That was a really prolonged 1-on-2.
Kozq could certainly smell what the Rock was cooking at that point, because that allowed the rest of his team to push through the bottom lane and take out an inhibitor in... let's take another look, because this was the outplay. So Kozq tried to flash out, actually still got nudged by the package, but it was just enough. Just enough. And then from here, Sunfire Cape's doing work on a half-health Kozq. He's just like, I'm going to run back. All of my items have been used. And got him.
Any problem with that skin is it changes the cheese wheel to be something else.
Spikes.
Like, yeah, because in every other skin it looks like a cheese wheel, but yeah, not quite the same. Also in that scenario when Whirlib had so much health, converting extra damage into Grasp of the Undying, like, it's actually a lot of damage. Because you're almost still up to, like, I think it's like around 100, 150 health when you're like almost full item build.
He has a Thornmail now as well to start dealing with that, so it does mean that Kozq can't really effectively push too well against him. It means anytime you have to direct autos over, it's just like, well, great.
I mean, the job was already done, though.
Yeah.
Like, Kozq got a pick and also locked up 2 people. Like, that's all you really need from a Quinn.
I feel like it's different, though, if Kozq is there against Whirlib on his own and not, like, losing half of his health to Godbro first.
I mean, that's another thing, right? Like, often Huma's been caught out of position because they've not been respecting, like, rotations coming out from, like, a team play or, like, a Trundle pillar coming up in the wrong place, or Kozq just roaming around the map with behind enemy lines. Like, there's not been a lot of respect from Huma's squishies in this game. And that has resulted in so many picks, which has just ultimately led to more objectives. So this is a tough situation for Huma to be in. You're probably looking at the next game in this one and trying to even up the series 2-2, because this game, like, is going to be such an uphill struggle to pick this one up.
Yeah, it's just over 11k gold lead right now for Inspire. If they can convert this, it would put them at 2-1 in this series.
Yeah.
Put them 1 game away, but then it begs the question to Huma just go, okay, we'll pick Jax in game 4.
I mean, they have to do it in game 4, really. We'll talk about that in a second. Castle's looking for the engage. Pops his ultimate. He's very close to dying even through the ultimate. Gets so many heals out here. And Woolite will finish him off just as it times out. Whirlib in the top lane only now arrives to stop Kozq, but the tower is down and the damage is done. Already the support is dead, so this is a 5 versus 4. There's so much pressure being exerted by Inspire, and Kozq is dancing around Whirlib.
Yeah, he's just dancing between mid lane and then looking for the inhibitor turret, but turret is going down in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going.
Just about
there. It is. It's gone.
Okay. 16-6. It's not been quite the perfect game, but Inspire are doing a pretty good job regardless. Whirlib will be dropping. The magic damage will cut right through those defenses. Rudy will be called out as well. He'll be just delaying the inevitable with the repel. Double kill in from Kozq, padding those stats once again, and this will be the end of the game. Inspire making it a 2-1 in this best-of-5 series. Just 1 more win to go until they lock down their final spot.
Oh, that was a bit of a touch-and-go game at first. Just a couple of TP plays, a couple of Malphite ultimates seemed to hit the mark, but as soon as there was just no follow-up, Inspire just kept taking fight after fight, and then they just pushed down the bottom, get the inhibitor while Kozq's causing a problem topside. So difficult to deal with that Quinn. When you've got nobody that can deal with her alone, the rest of Inspire just start taking objectives cross map.
I mean, Spire just played it by the book, right? Like, they played the composition well. They had the split push. They used the pressure coming in. They played the different lanes coming in from Nautilus. They played the different lanes. And what is like a team fight composition going to do when they're 1 behind and 2 don't have anything to pressure out? Like a Nautilus who's pushing with like ZZ Rod and Banner. Like, some of the adaptations we've seen in like North America, for example, is we've seen like Malphite actually just go for Banner and ZZ Rod themselves just to counteract it, because you can't push away the minion. Like, you can't actually do anything.
If you can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, that is actually the play. Like, that's what you have to do. So anyway, as a reminder, we want to remind you that Name the Owl, that the Observer team has been showing off since IEM. We don't quite have a pip here to show you the owl, but it's hashtag Kevin Owl or Unzo Owl. And we need you to let us know by voting on Twitter with the name you prefer. It's very important because our observers will get very angry. It will be like a point of contention for years to come.
There is some context behind this. That Kevin and Unso were the observers at IEM, so it's not just like they're like, hey, we're going to steal their jam.
Yeah,
like,
same guys.
So
all those 360 ward kills you saw was all them.
Yeah, you can blame them. No, it's all good.
Yeah, they were sick. But yeah, make sure to get that on Twitter, and we'll be updating you by the end of the day. And I'll be getting my tweet in very shortly. So we're heading to Game 4. So while we set up for this one, we need to take a quick break. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.